Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Mo Time. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We have another beautiful day here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and today's video I'm going to take you through how to create your own little mobile garden. Alright guys, so today I'm going to take you through how to create your own little mobile garden bed using an old wheelbarrow. Now this is a wheelbarrow I've had for about 15 years plus now or so, that I bought many years ago, and instead of chucking it out I thought why not utilize it and turn it into a mobile garden. So yes, I'm going to take you through the steps today creating your own little mobile garden, and what we require for today's job is obviously a wheelbarrow of some sort. Now if you don't have a wheelbarrow, you can jump on something like Marketplace or Gumtree, and you can always just find people that are selling them for 20 bucks, 50 bucks or something like that, or you might even find someone who's just getting rid of one for free. So they are available to get from anywhere. I mean, if you want to go out and buy a brand new barrow, then by all means do so, but again, you'll be able to find one somewhere on the second-hand market for really cheap, or if not free. But yeah, so the versatility of using a wheelbarrow is the fact is it's mobile, you can move it around. So yeah, so what we need for today's exercise is obviously your wheelbarrow, a drill just to be able to drill some holes in the bottom of the wheelbarrow, some potting mix obviously to fill the barrow up with soil, some liquid fertilizers here, and I've got a couple of plants here as well to utilize, and at the end some mulch to put on top. So again, going back to the soil you choose, that depends on what you're planting in the barrow. So if you're wanting to do something like just normal annuals or something like that, then you just need something like a potting mix. But obviously if you're wanting to plant veggies or roses or anything like that, then you need to get the appropriate soil mix for that plant variety, or vegetables, etc. So yeah, make sure you first decide what you want to choose to plant in your wheelbarrow, and that'll depend on what sort of soil mix you get for the plants. So again, I've just got some annuals here today for a bit of color, just because I want to bring a bit of color into the garden, and be able to move it around as well and put it in this barrow that I'm sitting in here today. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need in today's things. We're only planting a couple of inches down, so don't need any digging equipment or anything like that. But yeah, so that's it in the way of things you need to create your garden bed. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so first things first, you're going to get your drill. Now what the drill is for is just drilling some holes in the bottom of your wheelbarrow. Obviously when you're creating a garden bed, you need to create some sort of drainage, and if you're thinking of planting vegetables or rose bushes, etc., then you definitely need really good drainage in your wheelbarrow. So you need a drill, and a nice sized drill bit, maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch, just to be able to drill holes through your wheelbarrow. So this one I've already pre-drilled some holes in, which I already did, as you can see here, and they're about 1 centimeter in size, and I've just sort of randomly drilled them all over the wheelbarrow. So yeah, so get your drill first. Now whether you've got a polyurethane tub or whether you've got a steel tub, when you are picking your drill bit, just make sure you're cautious in choosing the right drill bit for drilling through the particular material you're drilling through. So yeah, first thing first is grab your drill bit and put some holes evenly throughout the barrow. Depending on the size of your barrow, my wheelbarrow is 100 litres. You can get like 70, 80 litre tubs, but most of the time they're about 100 litre tub wheelbarrows, which mine is. So you just got to create enough holes to create enough drainage evenly over the base of your tub. So yeah, now that I've done that, next we're going to get, I'll just get this drill out of the way. Bring this over. All right. So next you want to do is get your secateurs for starters. Next you're going to do is, depending on the drill size of your holes you've done, if you've done sort of smaller ones, then I wouldn't recommend putting a rock base or anything like that. It isn't really necessary unless you've drilled really big holes and have big gaping holes. Then you might need to get some rocks just to sort of plug it up, so you know all the water just doesn't leak straight out and doesn't get to sit in there whatsoever. But my holes are pretty small, so I'm not going to bother about putting rocks in the bottom or anything like that. There's enough holes there just to create enough drainage for my annuals. So yeah, so first things first, drill your holes, get them all ready. Again, like I mentioned, be careful in your selection of your drill bit. This is a polyurethane tub, so any drill bit will basically drill through this, basically plastic. But if you have a steel wheelbarrow, then make sure you get a metal drill bit. So yeah, next step is putting your potting mix in. So I've just gone with an Osmocote premium potting mix, again because I'm just planting annuals, so that's all that's required for them. And again, depending on what you're choosing to plant in your wheelbarrow will depend on the type of soil mix you get, so just be careful you get the right one for what you're intending to plant and grow in your wheelbarrow. So yeah, this stuff I got from Bunnings, and it was about, I think about $13 a bag or something like that. And on most bags, when you're choosing potting mix or whatever you're getting, they will have a literage size as well, just so you know, if you're filling up a 100-litre barrow, then obviously you need 100 litres. So these ones on these bags, these are at 50 litres, if you can see there. And we know obviously 50 plus 50 is 100, so that should be enough for doing this wheelbarrow. So we'll get that split open and put our first lot of potting mix in the barrow. Alright, get rid of that there. Now when you put your first one in, just make sure you spread it out evenly, and before you put the second one in, just make sure you compact it down a fair bit. Now it doesn't need to be really compacted, but at least just pack it down so down the track when you're watering you don't get too much sinking of air pockets in there. So it's best to always just compact it down first before you put your next lot in. Alright, pretty happy with that. Go ahead and grab your second bag. There we go. Alright, love my Felcos. Always come in handy. Alright, pop that second bag in. There we go. Alright, get rid of that and we can spread that one out. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, now again, you don't want to bring your soil level right up to the level of the barrow. You've got to allow, obviously, for some mulch and that to put on top and whatnot. So we'll pack this one down as well. Squeaking. There we go. And just give it a light pack down as well. Done. All right. Now we go on to planting. Alright guys, so I've just gone with some annuals for some colour. Now, I haven't gone with a big variety of colour, I've just gone for some whites and purples today, just to do a light bit of colour but nothing too extreme with our annuals. So yeah, I just went down to the local nursery, and you can get these little annuals in 6-packs. They come in sort of different sizes depending on how much you want to pay, but a little 6-pack of these is around $4 from your local Bunnings or local nursery, and there's multiple different varieties to choose from and multiple different colours. And that, yeah, so we've just gone with white and purples today, but yeah, I went with just a punnet of pansies, and I went with a white punnet of petunias, and another punnet of petunias, and get away. What were these? Padiolas, yeah, some some purple padiolas, and some more white petunias just to mix it up. So you also wish when you're choosing your plants, you've got to sort of choose how dense you want it to be as well, whether you want it to just be a full thick forest of flower or whether you want it to have gaps in between is completely up to you. You can also, it also comes down to how much you want to style it at the end as well. So I'm just going to put down some sugarcane mulch at the end just to retain moisture, but if you want to sort of get a bit more decorative, or you're going to place it somewhere like at the front of your property or something like that, then you might think about putting some decorative rocks or something in there instead of some mulch. Either way, they both look great, and again, that's the beauty of having it in an old wheelbarrow. You're able to pick it up and move it around and place it wherever you want. But yeah, just the also beneficial factors for having in a wheelbarrow is, you know, if you have it somewhere underneath and it rains, you can just wheel it out to where it gets some rain. And then also, you know, if you've put it in a spot and you find the spot is getting too much sun for either the veggies or the plants you're growing, then you can just pick it up and move it to somewhere with a little less sun and a bit more in the shade. So again, having a mobile planter is a fantastic thing. So yeah, so keep that in mind. But also, this is just a great little weekend fun job to do with your kids or on your own or something like that. Super simple, really inexpensive. Like I said, you're looking at about $4 or $5 per punnet. The sugarcane mulch I think was around $15 for this one here, which covers approximately about 20 to 25 square meters, which is obviously ample more than what we need for a wheelbarrow, but that's the smallest one I could get at Bunnings, so I just grabbed that anyway, and I can throw the remainder on the garden bed behind me here. Yeah, so really cheap, great little weekend job to do if you're looking for a little thing to do on the weekend or during the week when you got time off. This is a fun little job to do with your kids, etc. But also a fun little thing to do with children as well, just to get them into the garden. You know, wheelbarrows are generally really low. So they can stand at the wheelbarrow and they can tinker around and play and learn how to plant correctly. And if you're doing vegetables or something like that, then you're obviously teaching them, you know, the importance of how to grow your own food, which is really important and a really good skill to have. And you know, the younger you start, the better. You know, and giving the kids that education on, you know, how to grow their own food and taking it from your wheelbarrow or from your garden bed to your kitchen and being able to serve it up on a plate. But anyway, we're not doing veggies today. I've just gone, like I said, with some color. So yeah, so next bit is planting. So what I like to do is, because I'm variating between whites and purples, I'm just going to try and spread these out. So what I like to do, when you're moving these from the punnet, just make sure you give them a little pinch like that either side. They are very small, so their root system is really delicate, so just be cautious. You don't want to squeeze them too hard. It's just giving enough squeeze just to loosen them from the pack a little bit. Once you give them a little squeeze, they'll just pop out like that. And as you can see, little tiny white roots on them, really small and fragile. But yeah, so I just like to pop them out, and then what I'm going to do is just randomly place them out everywhere. I'll put one there. Now these are my purple ones, so we'll spread these out a bit. One over there, and one there. And just getting different varieties of annuals as well just sort of mixes it up a bit. So you've got a bit of different variety coming through once they start to grow. And pop one there. Alright, always just remember to bang the soil out that's left over in there, don't waste it. Yeah, don't waste the soil that's there. That's one, we'll get rid of that. And yeah, we'll move on to some petunias next. So these are just white ones, as you can see by the flower here. And we will pop them out again, just a nice little squeeze around the base, and that'll pop them out like that. You can probably see the roots on that one a little better, but you can see how small and fragile they are, so just be cautious. And again, we will just randomly place these out anywhere. And one over here. And one there. I'll just move these out of the way. And we'll do the patiolas next. And again, we'll just randomly place these out and just spacing them out evenly so you've got a even distribution. Actually, I'll put this one over here. And that one there. We'll move him over. Put that one there. And maybe one in the center. And again, just tap out any excess soil and chuck it in your rubbish pile. Alright, now we'll go with these other lot of petunias. Now I probably overbought here a little bit, but whatever, having a bit of excess annuals, just find somewhere else to plant them. Or just keep stuffing them in somewhere if you want to. I'll probably get these in somewhere. One here. Move him over, move him over. So just move them around. Now there's another note, there's another thing, sorry, just to note. So when you're spreading them out, don't just start planting straight away. You should never just get into planting when you've got multiple plants to do. You should always put out your plants first, measure them up, make sure they're all even. Not in this case, this is just going in a barrow, but it's always best to just pull the plants out, place them where you think you want them, and make sure that's where you want them before you start digging. So yeah, so what I do is place them out, and you can sort of see, okay, I've got a bit of space over here, I can move that one over and I can throw another one in there, and that one can go there, and we can throw another one over there. And like I said, if you've got any left over, that's no biggie. It's far better to have more than not enough, and having to do that drive to the shop again to get more. So if you've got any left over, just find another pot to pop them in, or find an area in your garden, or any family member or friend that might want some annuals to plant. You can always just give them to them as well. So we'll plant them down there. I think I've got a pretty even good spread over the barrow now, as you can see. And now we can start planting. Now again, these are really small, so you don't ideally need a digging instrument. You can just use these. Yeah, if you prefer to wear gloves, of course wear gloves. I just never have. But of course, yeah, if you prefer to wear gloves, then do so. So yeah, when you're planting little annuals like this, all you need ideally is just your 2 fingers. And you're just going to dig your 2 fingers in, do a bit of a wriggle, and then normally with planting, as you may have seen in my other video where I explained how to plant correctly, you would sort of break this up, but that is with more bigger established leaderage pots where the root system is much bigger and can handle a little bit of loosening up. Ideally with annuals, because their root system is so light and precious, I wouldn't break them all up. I'd just plant them in straight the way they are out of the box like that. Okay, you don't want to damage the root system too much, then you've caused damage to the plant and it'll have decrease its chance in survival. So yeah, once you've dug your little hole, pop it in and just backfill it. And that's it, simple as that. All right, now you've got your one in, now go through and do the rest. Alright guys, so we are all done with the planting now, and you can have a look at the finished product. There we go. So yeah, pretty evenly spread out. Again, you do what you like to do. If you want to do like a border round there, then you can do so, and then put a bunch through the middle. Again, that is completely up to you. And again, depending on what you're planting as well. So yeah, so that's it. Plants are in. Now, like I said, moving on to the mulch, again, you can use any mulch you want to, as long as you apply the right layer of mulch on. It'll work the same just as many of the other mulches do. I've just gone with sugarcane because that's what I use in the garden behind me. And it's one of the only ones from Bunnings that you can just sort of get pre-packaged. You can get tea tree as well and a few other ones, but I try and you know, provide gardening little things on my channel for doing things on a budget, so to say. And sugarcane mulch is cheap and it's great at doing what it needs to do. I think this, again, the organic sugarcane mulch was only about $14 or $15, I think, for this block here. And again, like I said, that is ample for just covering a wheelbarrow in what you require for mulch. So yeah, so next step we're going to do is get onto the mulch. We'll put that on now, and then it's basically just water in and we are done. Alright guys, so we'll spread out some mulch now. We'll get this cut open. And there we go. That'll do. Alright, so get some mulch out and just spread it around your plants. Just be careful not to, just be cautious not to smother your new plants too much with mulch. They are still babies, just remember. So yeah, just be cautious and not smothering them in mulch. There we go. The beauty of sugarcane is it compacts together really well, and it's really easy to work with and put around delicate places like this where you know, you just got to be intricate mulching, and it's perfect for that. So yeah, that's why I like sugarcane for specific things like this. Really easy to work with, and really nice smell too. Same as cypress. Cypress mulch has a really nice smell, and so does tea tree. All really good quality mulch. And we'll chuck a bit in there. And a bit in there. And again, being cautious not to smother your plants too much. They still need to see the sunlight and whatnot. Now I've just gone with annuals, like I said earlier, just for a bit of colour in the garden. I don't have too much colour here in my garden, so I wanted to sort of, you know, bring a bit of colour than just having all greenery on the backdrop of our landscape. A little bit there. and a little bit there. I think we are done. Geez, I barely touched the mulch. Alright guys, the last step is obviously once you finish planting and mulching is to give them a water. So don't drench them too much, just give them a light drink. I mean, we're doing annuals here, so you know, again, they're babies and fresh, so just give them a drink every day so they can get established into the soil and spread their roots out. But yeah, last step is just giving them a water. Alright guys, that is it. So we've watered them in. Now I just gave them a bit of a tank water feed, as you would have just seen, but you can give them a little bit of a liquid feed if you want to as well, just to give them a bit of a kickstart with growth, etc. And any of these products are really good, and I recommend for using for that. Yeah, sea sole or Charlie Carp, both available at nurseries or at Bunnings. Both come in, you know, 1 litre bottles and bigger, and really inexpensive as well, really cheap, but really good organic based liquid fertilizers for your plants. Whether they're new planted plants or whether they're established lawns and gardens, this stuff is both really good for either. So yeah, you feel free to add some into your watering can if you want to. You basically only need like a cap full per 9 litres of watering can, and your general water can like this from Hortico is 9 litres. And that, but again, like, you know, you can throw in a bunch of this or a bit less, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be harmful or affect your plants in a negative way if you put 2 capfuls in or something like that. Just obviously it needs to be diluted with water. Don't just pour the bottle straight on the plants. That's, yeah, not how you do it. But anyway, yeah, so feel free to add the Charlie Carp or the sea sole into your watering can when you do give it a water. If you don't want to, by all means, you don't have to. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just give it a good water out of the tap, and then maybe in a week's time or a couple of days time, grab some sea sole or some Charlie Carp and throw that in your container and put it on there. But anyway, that wraps up about today's, I think, yeah, that's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed and taken some tips out of this video on how to create your own little garden out of a old wheelbarrow here. But yeah, again, like I said, jump on Marketplace, jump on Gumtree, and generally there's people just chucking these out or selling them for a couple of dollars, super cheap to get. And again, like I said, it is on wheels, so easy to pick up and maneuver. Just to keep in mind though, if you just keep an eye on your tire. So a wheelbarrow left over a long period of time, the tire can slowly go down, you know, and if you're not very strong or whatnot, and now there's a bit of weight in your wheelbarrow, just bear in mind that you might need to pump the tire up before you start filling it up with soil, because obviously it's going to be a lot heavier once it's full of soil and plants and mulch. So yeah, just check the tires first and make sure they're pumped up before you get into it, because it is much harder to move a wheelbarrow with a flat tire than it is with one pumped up. So yeah, anyway, that's it for today's video, guys, and again, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up with upcoming videos. I've got plenty more to come. We are slowly moving into our new property. It's taking a while. Moving into a new place is never a fast process, but I do plan on doing a lawn video on my new lawn and going through a bit of a tour with that and identifying certain weeds, etc. So I'll be shooting that video soon. Oops. There we go, chuck that down there. Yeah, I'll be shooting that video soon, so we'll have that up and running soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, plenty of more videos to come. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And just remember too, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's under mo_time, or you can follow me on Facebook at Evergreen Lawns and Gardens on there. And I'm also on TikTok as well under MoTime. You can follow me on TikTok just for chill out hedging videos that I chuck up there from time to time as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys are staying well mentally and physically. Make sure you get out into your lawn and garden this weekend and enjoy the beautiful weather we are getting currently in Brisbane. But anyway, guys, take care and we'll see you in the next video.